Do you still agree that the beast that's implementing the mark is America?
Yes, I definitely believe it's this great horde. Absolutely.
Okay, Con, I'll praise. Listen, you said, show you the mark of the beast in the Old Testament, but the beast, which you agree was America, didn't rise up until the 1700s. So how could I show you? Now, this was back on Facebook. Back on Facebook, we was tearing shit up. We was just inviting people on and blasting through shit. Just wanted to make you guys aware of that. Listen, you said, show you the mark of the beast in the Old Testament, but the beast, which you agree was America, didn't rise up until the 1700s. So how could I show you the beast in the Old Testament when it's the mark of the beast, which is America?
Right. It could be watch this. It could be watch this. It could be subject now.
No, but that's a good point because he said, show me the mark of the beast in the Old Testament. Well, the beast is America. We all agreed on that. So Testament. Well, the beast is America. We all agreed on that. So how can I show you America's mark? America wasn't established until 1776. So it still can be considered a lake of fire. So it says the doctrine of the lake of fire has long been misunderstood, confused with Christian mythology, or misapplied to America's coming nuclear destruction. We're not abandoning that at all. But when we rightly divide the scriptures from Isaiah and Ezekiel to Revelation to 2nd Ezra, a far clearer picture emerges that the lake of fire is not America, but a literal, visible, divine judgment zone that begins in Basra, Edom, stretches through a nearby wilderness of purging, and concludes at Armageddon, where Yahushua crushes the beast and its religious deceivers.
Shalom. Giving all honor, all praise, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. And peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad across the four winds of the earth. Now, I just had to go back in time, going through the deacon's page, where he's actually had breakdowns where he's going into the beast, the image, the mark. And the reason why I wanted to gather that information, these clips, is because what he once taught, if he still teaches it, it actually contradicts their new heresy, their latest heresy concerning the lake of fire. Now, you saw in the clips, those are the receipts, that they teach that the beast that's going to enforce the mark on basically the world is America. You actually heard him say in one of the videos that the mark is America's mark. So the MOTB is going to be issued from America, Babylon. All right. And they, in some of their breakdowns, they'll go up to Revelation 13 and start at the 11th verse and then read down to basically insinuate that the beast, all right, which is America, is going to be the one that's going to cause everybody to receive this mark. So if this is what you teach, if this is what you believe, then your latest heresy is a contradiction. You pretty much is sticking a dagger through your own doctrine. Now, I'm going to start with this scripture, and this is a cut, and this is a reason why you're supposed to be consistent with what you teach. You're not supposed to be changing and switching up. Sirach 5, and I'm going to start at the 9th verse. It says, winnow not with every wind, and that wind represents the doctrines, like it tells you in, Ephesians, as well as in Hebrews. It talks about every wind of doctrine. All right. You don't want to be those individuals who's getting tossed to and fro by every wind of doctrine. All right, where men lie in wait to deceive with the sleight of hand and through cunning craftiness. basically manipulating the word of the Most High, this basically handling the word of the Most High deceitfully. So it says, winnow not with every wind. That's why Paul said, that everybody speak the same thing and there be no divisions among you, right? And go not into every way, for so doeth the sinner that have a double tongue. And you got a double tongue, that's indicative of you having a double heart, because out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. So one minute you believe this doctrine, but then you switching it up and now you teaching it this way. You're not stable, and you're not being consistent. This is how, like Nate, we get on Nate all the time because he falls into that same error. All right, he's very unstable. He's ambivalent. He's not consistent with what he teaches. That's why he's always constantly switching it up. So something's definitely suspicious when you have to switch up, what you once taught. All right. It's one thing to correct something, but it's another when you completely change it. You do a complete 180. All right. It says, be steadfast in thy understanding, and let thy word be the same. So for the deacon or priest, because he stepped down from being a deacon, he's now priest, Hakah. So do you still stand on that particular doctrine? Do you still believe that the beast that's going to enforce the mark on everybody is talking about America, is dealing with America? Then how will the people who take the mark, how will they be placed in the prophecy of partaking in the second death, the lake of fire? Because we know that the judgment for everybody that receive the mark and worship the image, they're actually going to have their part in the lake of fire. Let's go to Revelation 14. And I read this in my previous lessons, all right, dealing with this topic. Revelation 14 and verse 9. And this is right after it goes into the fall of Babylon, right? It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. And that's what's going to make up that fiery indignation, all right, or that place of judgment where you're going to have the lake of fire. We're going to go over to Revelation 20, where it talks about the lake of fire that burning with brimstone. All right, it says, and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. And they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. All right, so you're going to be a part of this fiery indignation, this so-called eternal judgment, which a lot of people still don't even understand what that means, the eternal judgment. Sodom and Gomorrah, what was done to them and what was left as a result of that particular judgment was eternal. That was the eternal mark that was left on those 5 cities, because you could look back to them and know that those 5 cities were once inhabited, but the Lord left it as a memorial. All right, to where to this very day, archaeologists, they go back and they do documentaries on it. They go and show the evidence that the Lord did rain fire and brimstone on that place. So it's still remembered with us to this very day, even though it happened thousands of years ago. So with America, we know it's going to be the same dynamic. All right. But anyway, so this is showing you that the people who worship the image and take the mark, they're going to be a part of this judgment. So let's go from there. And let's go to Revelation 19 and verse 20. And it says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. And we know that the mark is what's gonna cause these people to serve this devil, because they're gonna realize that this man is able to perform miracles through this technology, which y'all agree that the technology of the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, they're going to be able, it's going to enhance these people. They're going to be able to do things that they normally aren't able to when they integrate themselves with this technology. All right. And guess what? This technology and this new world system is going to be endorsed by the false prophet, the Pope, the Catholic Church. It says, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. All right. So the beast that y'all say is going to implement the mark along with the false prophet is going to be cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone. Y'all saying that the lake of fire is going to be in a fertile crescent from Basra, the capital of Edom in Jordan, all the way up to Megiddo. And on that little map that y'all had, it looks like a lake rather than a river, but y'all tried to justify it by saying, well, it has a starting point and an ending point. So it looks like a river, but really you could say that it's a lake. You got to watch these men and listen to what they say. All right. It talks about the utterance of a man's conceit. All right, a man's reasoning is in his speech. So let's go from there. Let's go to Revelation 20 now. Because the people that worship the image and receive the mark is going to be a part of the lake of fire. Then how do you place the lake of fire over there on that side of the world? So what about the people here in America that you say is going to be the enforcers of the particular mark? Revelation 20. Let me get, hold up. So this is Revelation 20. And 10, it says, and the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. Which I read in Revelation 14, those who receive the image and the mark, they're going to basically be a part of this fire and brimstone. That's going to go up forever and ever, right? Even though it's not literally forever and ever, but you know what I'm saying. They're going to be a part of this second death. And it says, verse 11, and I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before the Most High, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which was the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And we know that if you take the mark, your name is definitely not written in the book of life. All right. So based on what I read, you can agree that those who actually take it, all right, they're going to basically have their part and partake in the second death with the beast and the false prophet. Do you agree with that? So if you agree with that, then how will that be possible if the lake of fire won't be over here in America? Make that make sense. Because this right here makes your whole doctrine look bad. This latest heresy. You got to clean that up. You got to fix it. All right. So let's hold up. Let me do the cross reference. It talks about the smoke going up forever, Revelation 18. And cry when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, "Which city is like unto this great city?" We know what city that's talking about. Yeah, and then Revelation 20 and 10 it talks about that same smoke of the torment going up forever, day and night. All right, like it says in Revelation 14. All right, that they that receive it, they will not have rest day nor night. The smoke of their torment ascendeth forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever received the mark of his name. All right. So you see the judgments line up, and those who take the mark, they're going to be a part of that. Well, they're not going to be able to be a part of that if America is not going to be a lake of fire. Okay. Unless you're saying that the Lord's going to pick up the 2/3 of our people out of America, so they're going to go up into the ship, and then he's going to take them and bring them over there to Megiddo or Basra or in between, and then he's going to just line them up and burn them. I dare y'all to say something like that. That would be complete madness. We know that no non-elected going up into the ship. All right. That's because that's going to be the place of salvation is in that cloud, in the chariot. So in order for this to make sense, you would have to teach that the 2/3 are going to be beamed up too, and they're going to be brought over there to the other side of the world and dropped off so that they could be turned into that lake of fire. All right. But we know that that's definitely not factual. That wouldn't be true. That would be just another mad heresy that we got to dispel. All right. Now look at this same judgment, Revelation 20 and 10, and also Revelation 14 and 11. That gives you the clue that this is the same judgment. All right. And Babylon's going to get destroyed through what? Through thermonuclear destruction and the fire coming from the chariots, the lasers. And of course, Michael is going to put in his work. There's going to be a war on the other side of the world. All them armies that's going to be fighting over there. They're going to turn from fighting each other, pursuing the 2 Ezra 13, and they're going to try to fight the Lord in the air and angels, and they're going to lose miserably. They're going to be turned into, well, Ezra saw it. All he could perceive was fire and the smell of smoke. So it's going to be fire on both sides of the earth. That's why the scriptures say the day of the Lord is going to burn as an oven. Okay. So yeah, y'all gotta fix this up, man. This is terrible. Especially if y'all stand on what y'all were teaching, a year, 2, 3 years ago concerning the mark and the beast that's going to issue that mark. If you stand on that, then this doctrine right here doesn't make sense. So that's pretty much that. Hopefully this is edifying. I'm give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.